Ablazify presents creative ways to work around challenges. Stop for a moment and think about the last time you hit a wall. A project ran out of budget. A key team member quit. A technology failed. What was your first reaction? Probably frustration, right? Most people view challenges as stop signs. But the most successful people, the innovators, the entrepreneurs, the true leaders, view challenges as design problems. Are you tired of letting roadblocks derail your momentum? It's time to stop brute forcing problems and start applying creative strategy to work around the things you can't change. In the next 8 to 10 minutes, I need your complete focus, because we are delivering the key to transforming obstacles into opportunities and bottlenecks into breakthroughs. This is how critical this is. We're providing simple, tested mindsets that shift your perspective from, I can't, to, how might I? That's the transformation you should expect. Moving from paralyzed problem solving to agile, creative, strategic thinking. What happens when you lack creative workarounds? You waste time and money trying to fix unfixable problems. You suffer from functional fixedness, seeing an object or resource only in its conventional use. You spend your energy complaining about the obstacle instead of designing a solution. The cost? Stagnation. Your competition innovates around the problem while you're stuck trying to blast through it. You become rigid, slow, and reliant on linear thinking. It's time to realize that the most direct path is often the most impossible path. Success requires lateral thinking. Just imagine. Think about a moment when a challenge appears, something that would crush your competitors. Instead of stress, you feel a spark of excitement. You instantly apply a creative framework. You repurpose existing resources. You see the obstacle not as a blockage, but as a constraint that forces innovation. You become known as the person who always finds a way. That is the power of creative problem solving. A life where challenges are simply the fuel for your next great breakthrough. The following recommendations propose an effective solution to the problem identified. 1. Embrace the subtraction principle. When facing a challenge, our first instinct is to add resources or time. A creative workaround often involves subtraction. What can you remove? If a project is too complex, what 30% can be stripped away without sacrificing the core value? If a team is stuck, remove the manager for a day and let them self-organize. By taking things away, removing features, removing process, removing budget, you force the system to find a radically simpler, often better, solution. 2. Use the worst idea brainstorm. Fear of failure kills creativity. To bypass the internal critic, run a worst idea brainstorm session. Actively try to generate the most ridiculous, unworkable, or illegal ideas for solving the challenge. This removes the pressure of perfection and primes the brain for lateral thinking. Why? Because often, one terrible idea can contain a small, brilliant kernel of truth that, when reversed or refined, becomes the perfect workaround. 3. Apply the repurposing rule, functional fixedness. We tend to see resources only by their primary function. This is functional fixedness. A creative workaround requires you to look at every resource you have, a team member's skill, a piece of old technology, a budget item, and ask, what else can this be used for? If you can't hire a marketing manager, maybe your excellent writer can spend 10% of their time on marketing content. If you lack cash, barter services instead. Repurposing turns limitations into assets. 4. Execute the constraint multiplier. Paradoxically, increasing constraints often boosts creativity. If you have infinite time and money, the pressure is off, and you procrastinate. If you're challenged, ask, how can I solve this problem with 50% less budget and in half the time? This forces the immediate abandonment of conventional, slow, and expensive methods. The constraint multiplier is a brilliant tool for getting straight to the core, most efficient solution. 5. Adopt the ask a child perspective. Children are experts at working around challenges because they are free from self-imposed rules and established norms. When you are stuck, step back and ask, How would an 8-year-old solve this problem using only the tools on the kitchen counter? This exercise forces you to use primary logic and physical objects, breaking the abstract, often circular, thinking that traps adults. It often leads to simple, elegant solutions that professional experts overlook. 6. Institute a break and switch system. When you are aggressively focused on a problem, you often block the solution. This is because the brain needs to engage its diffuse thinking network, daydreaming, background processing. When you hit a wall, take a complete, mental break. Go for a walk, wash the dishes, or listen to music. The moment you switch your focus, your subconscious continues to work on the problem, often delivering the creative workaround the moment you stop trying so hard. Why dedicate yourself to creative workarounds? Because challenges are guaranteed. Resilience isn't about how hard you can push, it's about how elegantly you can pivot. By mastering these creative strategies, you ensure that no obstacle, financial, technical, or relational, can ever completely stop you. You become the solution. Time to arm yourself with creative defense. Ask yourself these 3 core questions. 1. What problem am I currently trying to fix that I should instead be working around? And what does the around look like? 2. What unused resource, time, skill, relationship, can I repurpose right now to solve a completely different challenge? 3. If I could only use 10% of my current budget for this task, what radical solution would I be forced to invent? The wall is not the end of the road. It is the beginning of the pivot. If you're ready to master the art of the creative workaround and transform challenges into breakthroughs, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We post actionable strategies every week to help you innovate and thrive.